Hi everyone, in this session or class we are going to see about control flow and array in Java. Come, let's start with the control flow. In Java, the statements are executed sequentially in the order which they appear in the program or code. In some cases, the flow of the program may be disturbed or changed depending upon some conditions or some kind of branching structure or in some kind of iteration structure. So the flow of execution is going to be changed. So that is what called as control flow statements. So the breakup of the flow of execution can be changed by decision making, looping statement and branching statement. So this enables your program to conditionally execute it in particular blocks of code. So the way in which the statements are executed or the flow of execution of the statements is going to be called as uh, control flow statements. So come, let's see the types of control flow statements. So in Java we are having three types of control flow statements. First one is selection, decision making statements, selection or decision making statements. Second one, iteration statement or looping statement. Third one, jump statement or branching statements. So in decision making statements we are having if conditions and switch case, and in looping statement we are having for loop, while loop and do while loop at iteration statement. In branching we are having break, continue and return statement. Come, let's see one by one. First start with the selection statement or decision making statements. So it is having two broad category. One is if condition, if statement and the switch statement. In if itself we are having some type. uh, it provides the decision making capabilities to the statement. That's what called as selection and decision making statements. So based on that statement the flow of execution is going to be decided. So here we are having two category. One is if statement and the switch statement. In if itself we are having some four types of if statement. So Java if statements are used to test the condition. It checks the boolean condition, gives the true or value. So based on that the block of statements can be executed. So there are four types of if statement in Java. If simple if else statement, if else ladder and nested if. So come, let's see if statement. It's called a simple if statement. It executes the block if the condition evaluates true. So see the syntax. If keyword, if the condition evaluates true, boolean true, the code block will be executed. If the condition is false, this code block never and ever executed. So example, if the age is greater than 18, then only the statement will be executed. Otherwise, if the age is not greater than 18 means in this statement never executed. So simple if the condition is true, the block will be executed. Next is flow diagram of the if statement. So we are testing the condition. If some condition can be given inside over there. If the condition evaluates boolean true or boolean false, based on that the block is going to be executed. Actually here simple if the condition true, this block will be executed. If the condition fails, next statement after the if block will be executed. That is what the flow. And example, so already we seen that. So if the age is greater than 18, this block will be executed. Otherwise next statement after the if block will be started executing. So Java if statement. And second category in if statement is if else. So if the block, if we are having, see the syntax, if the condition is returns true, evaluates true, this block is executed. Otherwise if the condition fails means else block will be executed. So the syntax is if the condition 1 code block for the true condition, else if the condition failed means that is going to be given in the else block. So else is a keyword, if is a keyword. Example, if number modulus 2 equal to 0, if the given number evaluates modulus 2 is equal to 0, if this expression evaluates boolean true, this statement will be executed. It's an even number. Otherwise if this expression is evaluates false, so which means the odd number will be displayed. So else block is for the condition failure, this block is for condition evaluates true. So that is what if else statement. And flow is given over here. So if the condition true, this block is executed. If the condition failed means this block is executed. So in both the cases it is going to execute next statement after this if true part and the false part. So here very simple, if the condition evaluates true means this block will either this block or this block. This is a true condition, this is a false condition or else block. If else statement. Example again we have already seen example. If number is equal to true means a true part will be executed, even number. Else means the false part is going to be executed. Next, third category in if else ladder. So here we are having multiple if conditions. In the first example we are having simple if, and second category we are having if and else part. If the condition true and the else part condition fail. So here we are having multiple if else condition. That is what the if else ladder statement. See the syntax. If the condition 1, this code block will be executed. Otherwise in else part one more condition is going to be checked with the if condition. If the condition 1 failed, again I am checking another condition 2. If this condition 2 evaluates true means this block will be executed. Again if that condition 2 failed, or if that condition 2 also false means we are coming to second else block or third if condition. So like this I'll be having n number of if else block depending upon the need, and final else block is if the nth if block is evaluates false, for that else this else block will be executed, which means all the conditions have been failed. In that case the last else block will be executed. This is what called as if else ladder. Actually this if else ladder will be can be replaced by switch condition. We'll see that in next section. So instead of putting multiple if else, we'll be simply put switch block, which is going to be an alternate for the if else ladder. Right. So this is the flow of if else ladder. If the condition 1 failed, we're going to condition 2. Condition 2 also fails, we're going to condition 3, 4 up to condition n. If all the condition failed, we are going to the last else block. If each condition getting true, only the respective block will be executed, and so on. If condition condition 2 get true means this statement block 2 will be executed, which means condition 1 failed, that's why coming to condition 2. In this condition 2 getting true means this block will be executed. So all other remaining block are not executed, so only the true condition part will be executed. If all the condition failed means the else part of all the block will be executed, and else block of the last if condition will be executed. That is what the flow diagram of the if else ladder. And again example of if else ladder. If we are having multiple check condition, if condition, we can use if else ladder. Assuming that marks is the condition to be checked. First condition is simple if mark is less than 50, what I have to do, that is what given over there. If this condition fail, I'm going for the second if condition. So second condition is mark greater than or equal to 50 and lesser than or equal to 60. In that case this statement will be executed. If that too failed, if this condition also failed, this also failed, I'll be going for the third if block with the else third if block and this condition greater than or equal to 60 and less than 70, this block will be executed. If condition 1, condition 2, condition 3 fails, I'll be going for fourth condition. Fourth also failed means fifth condition. Fifth failed means sixth condition, and finally sixth condition also failed means the last else block will be executed. Which means all the condition failed means the last else block will be executed, which means input is not a number or it's an invalid input. That is what I'm trying to say in the last else block. Simply last else will be putting a simple block, which is going to be a if all the condition failed, this else block, last else block will be executed. So this is what the example of Java if else ladder. And the fourth category in if statement is nested if statement. If block is available inside another if, that's going to be called as nested if, or if block within another if block, that is what called as nested if. So see the syntax. If the condition true, I am having one more if block in the true part. If the condition true, this if condition is going to be checked if this first condition is getting true, which means Inside the outer if, the inner if is going to be placed. That is what nested if. We'll see an example, we'll understand easily. The flow of if nested if, the outer if condition, inner if condition. If the inside the outer if condition, one more if condition is going to be given over there, that is going to be, that condition will be checked, and so on. We'll see an example, we easily understand. Yeah, I have this example. So here I'm having two if block. One is true part nested if and false part nested if. See over here, if x is greater than y, if this x is greater than y, this if else block will be executed. If x is greater than y failed means else block will be executed. Inside the else block, one more if condition is there. So this is going to be called as nested if. Getting? So if block inside the if block inside the if block. So here I am having two if block, one is in the true part, one is in the else part. That's about the if statement in Java. So next control flow is switch statement. So already we said that if else ladder can be replaced, or alternative for if else ladder is switch statement. So if the switch statement executes one statement from multiple condition. So if you are having, we checked right, we are getting a mark checking in which category it falls, whether grade A, grade B, grade C, D and O, and D, E and so on. So one statement from multiple condition, that is what called as switch statement. As I said already, it is like if else ladder in if statement. So what all the points to be remembered is in Java switch statement is there can be a one or n number of switch cases, in a one switch expression. So in switch case, at least one and maximum n number of cases may be available. That is what first condition. Second is the case value must be of switch expression type only. That is the case 1, 2, 3, 4, right? That is going to be the inside the switch we are putting some expression. That expression type only the case value. That we'll see in an example. It doesn't allow the variables. So switch values are constants. Case 1, case 2, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are constants. The cases must be unique. The case values must be unique. In the case in case of duplicate value, it is rising an compiler error. So case only one case will be there. There should not be one more case one. So it should be unique. That is what the point. And each case statement we may have the break statement. It is an optional. Either you can put or you cannot. That's an optional one. And finally we are having a default case, and that's also optional. If you are willing, you can give. Otherwise, it is not mandatory. Now we'll see switch statement syntax. Switch keyword expression. So this expression evaluates some value, right? That is the type of this value. That is what this point we seen over here. The case value must be the switch expression type only, which means the case value 1 is of the type of the expression. So in the expression type, that is what the value of the value 1 and value 2 and so on. So syntax is switch the expression. We are giving some expression or that evaluates a value. So based on that value, this value 1, value 2, value 3 and so on. Each case block, if the value 1 means this code block will be executed, and we are having break for the value 1. And like this value 2 code block and break for the value 2 for the second case and so on. And finally default keyword and default block will be given over the end of the switch. So this is how this syntax of switch statement and control flow of switch statement. If the expression evaluates the value 1, this block will be executed. If the expression evaluates value 2, this block will be executed, and respectively the number of blocks is going to be executed. The respective number block will be executed, and if no cases match found means it will be calling the default case, and thereafter it comes out of the switch case. And we'll have an example. So the grade mark, right? So grade example can be converted if else lateral. We discussed grade example that can be converted as switch statement. So here another example is given for a switch case. So here given a month is 7. Actually supposed to read the value from the user. Month is 7 is fixed given over here. So instead you can read the value of month from the user. So thereafter what is the value of month? This expression is evaluate some value, right? 1 2 3 4 5. So depending upon that value, the depending upon that month value, the case 1 2 3 4 5 are the expression value of the month, which means what is the value of month. So depending upon that, the case value 1 2 3 4 5 may be given. If no match found in the input, it may be invalid input, so that it is written in a default case SOP system.out.println, it is displaying invalid input or invalid month. So this is how the switch case. So one statement checking the multiple conditions. So either whether the month is 1, this block will be executed, month is 2, this block will be executed, and so on. And finally, if no match found, default block will be executed. So this is how the switch statement. And next is next control flow is iteration or loop. So first one is decision making, selection or decision making, and second control flow in Java is iteration looping. In some cases we need to execute some set of or block of statements repeatedly or continuously until some condition to be satisfied. So that in that case looping statement and iteration are the structures for doing that kind of actions. So that is what called as iteration and loop statement. The statements may be executed multiple times from 0 to infinite number depending upon the need. So in Java we are having 3 kinds of loop statement: while loop, do while, and for loop. We'll see it one by one. So this is the general flow of loop. So we'll check the condition. If the condition true, and block of statement will be executed. Again I am checking condition true, block of statement will be executed. Until the condition, as long as the condition is true, the statement is executed. Once the condition becomes false, it comes out of the loop, and this statement is never executed thereafter. So that is what the iteration or loop statement. We'll see while loop. So while loop is a very simple structure in Java. So while keyword, the boolean expression, as long as this boolean expression evaluates true, the statements will be executed repeatedly. Once the boolean expression evaluates false, it comes out of the while loop, the statements never executed thereafter. That is what the while loop. So example, while x is less than 20, the 3 statements will be executed. As long as x is lesser than the 20, these 3 statements is executed continuously. Once x is equal to 20 or greater than 20, it comes out of the loop and started executing next statement after the while block. So that's what the while loop statement. And here flow diagram. So there is no fixed flow diagram for the while loop or for loop or do while loop. All the loops are having the condition checking diamond box. So this is going to be alternatively changed. So while condition, while inside the while I am having some condition, right? That condition is given over there. So as long as this condition returns true, this code block will be executed. Once the condition returns fail or boolean false, it comes out of the loop and started executing the next statement after the while block. And we'll see an example, the same example which we given in the beginning. While x is less than 20, these 3 statements will be executed continuously, repeatedly. When this condition failed, that is x is not lesser than 20, it is equal to 20 or greater than 20, in that case the while loop will be terminated. It comes out of the while loop and started executing after the while block. Next is do while. So do while is similar to while loop. Here only thing is do while loop is guaranteed to execute at least one time, which means without checking condition, the code block will be executed at the first time. While at the end of the code block, the condition will be checked. As long as the condition will returns true, this statement is going to be executed repeatedly. Once the condition is getting fail, it comes out of the while loop. That is what. So at least once or else without checking condition, at first time these statements are executed once. After that only it is checking the condition. So while going for second time, Before going to executing second time, it checks the condition true. If it is true, it is started executing in the second time. That is what about the do while. We'll see the flow of do while. So same thing. So you will be checking the without checking condition, we are executing the statement once at first time, and then we are checking the condition. If the condition evaluates true, means I will be executing the same code block again. If otherwise false, means I will be coming out of the while loop. So as long as this condition returns value true, boolean true, the code block will be executed repeatedly. Okay, we'll see an example. Slight change in while loop. So I am putting while loop at the end of the code block or end of the loop, and I am putting semicolon. Don't forget the semicolon over here. And do keyword opening and closing of the block. These three statements are executed once without checking condition, or at the first time these three statements are executed without checking any condition. At the end of the statement, third statement, it is checking the condition. If this condition evaluates true, next time the statement is going to be started executing repeatedly. So as long as x is greater than 20. If x is x is equal to 20 or greater than 20, in that case it comes out of the loop, it won't go inside the loop. That is what do while statement. And next is for loop. So for loop is you can repeat some code blocks for fixed number of times. So in that case, for loop is very much useful. This is the syntax for keyword initialization. Initialization, then expression or the upper limit or condition, and then increment or update. That is what the for loop structure. And in these statements are code blocks are continuously executed for the fixed number of times. Examples, so for keyword initialization, I is initialized to 1, upper limit is or boolean expression is I less than or equal to 5, semicolon supposed to be coming over here, semicolon plus plus I are incremental value. So each time I will be incremented by 1, which means this code block will be executed 5 number of times, fixed number of times 5. There is no specific for diagram for loop. All the loops are having the test condition diamond symbol or a rhombus symbol. So initialization for I equal to 1, something like that, it is normal statement. After that, upper limit condition will be checked. If the condition true, the code block will be executed along with the increment. So after that, it is again checking the condition. If it is true, the same code block will be executed with the increment. If the condition returns fail, means it comes out of the loop. So as long as the condition returns true, these two statements are executed, code block and the increment. So then only it checks the condition, whether it reaches the upper limit or not. That is what the for loop flow diagram. Example for loop. So for int I equal to 1, I less than 5, semicolon supposed to be coming over here, and plus plus I. So this statement will be executed 5 number of times. That is what the output shown over here. And next is control flow in Java is jump statement, continue statement, break statement. So jump statement is nothing but in some way or other way in a program,